and welcome to my channel Dots of Destiny. A very very big welcome to all the Aquarius people out there. This is the yearly full detailed video that I wanted to do for individual signs. So Aquarius, let us start with the year. It is the year of your Lagna Lord, Saturn, 2024, which adds up to 8. 8 is the number for Saturn. Now, the outer planets like Saturn is this whole year also. It will be on your Lagna, transiting on your Lagna, and it will be in Shatabhisha and Uttar Bhadrapada. And for retrogression, it will start its retrogression in the mid of June to mid of November. Approximately 130 days of retrogression. That is the usual retrogression of Saturn. And this transit of Saturn Aquarius is the last full year. It will be kind of a relief also as Saturn moves ahead in many areas. Okay, next come the greater planet Jupiter. Jupiter will make a better move this year into your 4th house in the 1st of May. A Kendra Jupiter in the 4th house, though Taurus is not a very favorite sign for Jupiter, but still in the Kalpurush Kundli, because Jupiter is get its exaltation in Cancer, 4th house is a good house for Jupiter because the energy of the 4th house goes well with the planet Jupiter. So a full year 2024 from 1st of May to 2025 April, Jupiter will be in Taurus. This is a welcome relief from the 3rd house Jupiter. 3rd house Jupiter is not at all good in most of the cases. It does not gives any good result in the 3rd house. Rahu Ketu is, as you know, Rahu transiting in your 2nd house, and Ketu is in your 8th house. So Rahu will be in the nakshatra of Revati, and then it will go back to Uttar Bhadrapada, and then Ketu will be in the 8th house, first in the nakshatra of Chitra and then Hasta. Okay, just a mistake I made is that Saturn will be first transiting in Shatabhisha, then it will go into Purva Bhadrapada. So that was a mistake, not Uttar Bhadrapada. So these are the outer planets. Then comes the inner planets. Inner planets are like Mars, Venus and Mercury. Sun, as you all know, travels every month. It makes a move from approximately 15-16th of the month to 1 month transit. So it will begin its transit in your 11th house, Sun, along with Mars. Mars will begin its transit in the your 11th house of Sagittarius. Mars is a very important planet, though not ideally at all a friend of Saturn, but it holds your 3rd house of courage and also the 10th house of profession. So it is a really important planet for you. And its transit, if you are running a Pratyanta Dasha, Mahadasha, whatever, or Antardasha of Mars, it is important, the transit of Mars. So Mars is beginning the transit in your 11th house, then going into the 12th, and then making a conjunction on the Lagna. As it will make a conjunction on the Lagna, because Saturn Mars conjunction on the Lagna, you have to be double careful. I'll talk about it in a while. Then Mars will make a conjunction with Rahu, then finally in the 2nd house, and then by the 1st week of June it will come into your 3rd house and begin its new journey from Aries. Okay, by the end of the year it will be in your 6th house of Cancer, debilitated, and also will go retrograde. So this will be the transit of Mars. Venus, your Yoga Karak planet, this year Venus will have no retrogression, and also it will make a conjunction with Saturn and Rahu and also Mars, but it will have a normal planetary run. There will be no much it will have a smooth run, because it will start from Scorpio with Mercury in your 10th house. It will start the journey from the 10th house in the month of January 2024, and by the end of 2024 it will come into Capricorn. I mean, it will complete a full circle from Scorpio to Scorpio, and then it will go to Sagittarius and Capricorn. It will end its journey by 2024 end December. So Venus is having the perfect, it is going as per the rhythm of the planet. Then comes Mercury, your 8th lord and 5th lord. That is also an important planet. Here Mercury this year will have 3 retrogradations, 20 days approximately, but here Mercury will be having a Gandanta effect in this year retrogression in the 3 watery signs of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. That is your 6th house, your 10th house and your 2nd house, and it will be constantly crossing in the retrogression time. It will cross back. Suppose it is retrograding in Pisces, it will come back in, it will come to Aries, go back to Pisces and again then go back. So it will be crossing the Gandanta. So your Artha Trikon is getting activated, or rather you need to think something. Whenever planets retrograde in a certain house, it wants to make us realize something about the house, something which needs more deeper attention. So I feel the Artha Trikon needs some attention from your end. That is the 2nd house, 6th house and the 10th house. Okay, now I classify the reading into 4 main categories: profession, financial management, then is your relationship, and then travel and health. First, let us start with the professional front. As I said, your profession we see from the 6th house, the Cancer sign in your 6th, and also the Scorpio sign in your 10th house. So see, moon is always 2.5 days it is traveling, and in the sign of Cancer, from the sign of Cancer, Saturn is transiting 8th. So wherever Cancer is situated, for your case it is 6th house, some kind of Shadashtak it is creating with Saturn. So some up downs in the job front can happen. But having said that, if Mars is in dignity, because see, the Scorpio house is having this year a triple transit of Saturn, Rahu and Jupiter. Saturn from your Lagna, the Karma Karak, Saturn we always see for professional things, we have to look into Saturn. Saturn is aspecting Scorpio. From the 4th house, Jupiter, when it will be in Taurus, it will aspect Scorpio. And also Rahu from the 2nd house, because I take the 5th and 9th aspect of Rahu, it is aspecting Scorpio. So some big changes can and should likely happen in your 10th house of profession. Because see, why I'm telling change is that Scorpio is the sign of change. We all know it is the original 8th house. And so 8th house agenda is to change things. That is why it is a little bit difficult house to deal with, but that is how the sign of Scorpio is. Now 3 major planets in this year will be aspecting Scorpio. So definitely you can, if you want to change your course of profession, if you are waiting for some good things to happen, some change of boss, or maybe your position or something, that can well happen this area. That can well happen from especially towards the end of the year. And when Mars is in full dignity, like see, when as you begin, your 10th lord begins being in the 11th, now it is in Scorpio. So by the end of December it is going into Sagittarius. So in January Mars will be in Sagittarius. That is good. 10th lord and 11th beginning the journey from there. Then it will go in exaltation in the 12th house. 12th Mars may have certain issues, but as far as profession is concerned, you it is not bad in that way. You may have to travel here and there, that can happen. When it comes to the lagna, see, when Saturn Mars comes on the lagna, there is a lot of responsibility and friction that can happen, because see, Saturn is a cold planet and Mars is a hot planet. This kind of friction always happen when Shani Mangal yoga happens in any house. But and so keep care of your health, that is very important, that will come to it later. But first you have to be very calm, because Mars can push you, Saturn can pull you back. But it should be a good time for profession, as the 10th lord will be on the lagna. Some kind of responsibilities can be elevated, these things can happen. Then your 10th lord goes into the second with Rahu. That is second house, that is not good for but for the for the relationship part of it, it's not very good. But otherwise, if Rahu is conjunct with Mars, if you want to take you have some abroad trip or something, 10th lord with Rahu for work, that can be happening. Mars, when it goes into the third house, it will begin its new journey. Because it will be in Aries, third house of Aries. By the first week of June, it will begin its journey. Then it will be conjunct with Jupiter. So see, when Mars will be coming into Taurus, it will look into the 10th house of own professional front. So the journey of Mars is not bad this time. As far as the professional front is concerned, I feel Aquarians this year should have a dynamic role to play in the professional area. But when Mars come by the end of the year, it will come into your 6th house and it will get debilitated, and also it will become retrograde. It will take a long time. November, December, it will be coming debilitated into Cancer 6th house, then retrograde back to Gemini, again into Cancer. So this process will take some time. At that point of time, I'll make a detailed video of that. You have to be a little cautious, because Mars, when it gets debilitated, there can be a lot of anger, frustration. Otherwise, barring that front, which comes very late by the end of the year, from the beginning to October, it should be professionally a dynamic run for this year. Financial management. As far as financial management is concerned, really this year, till Jupiter is in the third and Rahu is in the second, first 4 months, be very careful with your finances, very, very careful. Though Jupiter is aspecting your 11th house, its own house, Sagittarius, but still Jupiter in the third loses most of its good things. We call it the Marana Karaka Sthan for Jupiter. In transit, also natal, in natal, definitely. If you have a Jupiter in the third house, it is a difficult position. So be a little careful with the wealth part, because Rahu Ketu axis is now controlling your second and the 8th axis. So second is your accumulated wealth, 8th is also the inheritances. You can feel a little, in some cases the inheritances it may run out of your hand, or maybe you are afraid of getting the amount you want. So these scenarios can happen, because see, Ketu, whenever one needs to know, whenever Ketu is transiting an area, it is a major planet, 18 months transit, it will take away something and give something away. Both will happen. But in what scenario, how and when, that only when the result comes, we will be able to gauge it. Because see, Ketu cuts us from the things which we are too much obsessed with, and which we feel in our ego that this is ours and this we should have it. Ketu releases us from that kind of an energy. Don't misunderstand the planet. Yes, it's difficult to understand how it deals with our emotions, because it cuts us very abruptly from that area. That is how Ketu acts. But here Rahu in the second, Ketu is blunt, but the problem with Rahu is that your own family members may come and ask for help. Now, should I tell that you should not help them or borrow money? Maybe that cannot be done always, but you should very judiciously think how you should protect your savings. Very important this year. Once Jupiter comes in the Kendra, because Jupiter, why I'm talking, is 2nd and 11th lord. Once it comes into the Kendra, I feel it will have a better position. And Taurus is also a wealth sign, second house sun. So this Taurus and Jupiter combination will help you a bit. Kendra Jupiter in the 4th house can give you a solid this thing to hold on to the wealth. That's what I'm trying to say, because Rahu creates a lot of problem. That zone of Rahu Ketu is a dance of Rahu Ketu with the 2nd and the 8th axis. So Jupiter in the Kendra will help that. This is what should pan out. This is how it should pan out. But having said that, be a little careful as long as the Rahu Ketu axis is there in the 2nd and 8th. You should be judicious about your money matters. Next come your relationship front. Here, relationship front, what I want to say is that especially 2 areas, Jupiter in the 4th will do good, no problem with that. Your family happiness can come back with Jupiter when it goes into the 4th house. But there are certain transits of 2 transits, especially when Mars will be conjunct with Saturn and Mars will be conjunct with Rahu. These 2 areas in this year. So this will happen. Mars will come into Aquarius in the middle of March. Exact dates I'll tell you later. There's a very big conjunction that is happening. Saturn, Venus, Mars, 3 planets will be there on the Lagna. I think from the 2nd week of March to the 3rd week of April. So here you have to take caution about your health and also how you deal with the people, because see, whenever so many planets, and especially a big planet like Saturn is already on your Lagna, Mars joining it, the 3rd and the 10th lord joining the Lagna lord, aspecting the 7th house. 7th house, please understand, is a Leo house, permanent enemy of Saturn. It can cause some damage to that house. So why I'm previously only I'm telling you this, so that you take a note when that transit happens, because you and the 7th is all about relationship, whether marriage, whether partnership, whatever. Next come when Mars comes into your 2nd house in Pisces, Mars and Rahu conjunction, 3rd week of April to the whole May. Okay, so that is also a very sensitive area, because there's needless to say that Rahu Mars is an Angarak yoga in the 2nd house. Certain flow of money or certain things can happen. You can go to work for foreign destination or something. But Mars with Rahu is a very bombastic this thing, and in the 2nd house is it is the family life. It is a home front. So be very careful during that time, very careful. So these are the 2 areas mainly. Otherwise Jupiter in the 4th will give some satisfaction, some goodness to your feel good factor. This is what I feel. Jupiter can have a saving grace, a lot of saving grace when it goes into the 4th house. So these are the 2 transits which I wanted to say regarding relationship. Otherwise, see, a very important fact is that if because the 7th house is a Leo house, Saturn is on the Lagna, it is always aspecting the Leo house, and that negative energy can pass on. And because see, this year all the 3 aspects are going to the 10th house. So you can see workload or work changes, something can happen in the 10th house whenever major planets do aspect. So relationship and 10th house are just the opposite to each other. Keep a watch on that. Now coming to your health and travel. Now see, another thing is that Mercury in your relationship for your children, kids and all, Mercury is the 5th lord and the 8th lord. When it goes retrograde, especially in the watery sign, you have to be very careful with the relationship with the progeny. They can put a little bit of disturbance, a little bit of here and there to your life, but that can be adjusted because Mercury is a swift moving planet. As far as your travel is concerned, Venus is your main lord. So Venus and Mars, because Mars is the third lord. Mars, whenever it's in dignity, you can travel. There is scope of travel, lot of travel scope this year. Venus also will be in dignity the whole year. It will, most of the time it will be in its original space of, in the proper space of transit. So I hope this year you will have a good time with short travels. You can go for longer travels and all these things also. That can happen surely. Another thing is that about your health, lastly but not the least, is that Saturn is on the Lagna. Be very careful about the health. Many Aquarius people, many have come and said they have suffered health problem in the last this 2023, and they have questioned me that we thought Saturn being our Lagna lord, it should have given boost to the Lagna than caused so much of health havoc. Problem with Saturn is that Saturn is malefic. It is a malefic, and it brings out the things that are important to know. If you have a problem running within you, Saturn will bring that up because it wants you to recheck, check it and rectify it and be in the disciplined condition. Now Rahu Ketu adding to the 2nd and 8th axis, you have to lead a quite disciplined and proper diet oriented life, because Rahu is sitting in the house of diet also. Don't overindulge in things. Saturn is there on the Lagna. It is for the own good. It is aspecting the 7th house. Ketu is in the 8th house, lower part of the body. When Mars goes into the 6th house, end of the year, keep a check. Lead a well balanced life. You know that health is wealth. So this is for the betterment. Every transit teaches us something. At least I take it in that way. I have seen that astrology is a guiding torch, that how we can utilize it to our best. Every ascendant, every moon sign will go some phases of ups and downs every year, but how best we use it, that is why we use astrology. So I hope you make the most of this year. Have a good professional year. Financial year, finance needs little bit of understanding and looking into it properly. Health needs proper attention, and also your relationship. Have a good year, Aquarius. See you later in the other videos. Thank you.